All right, y'all. Let's get to it. All right. Now, I got some potential good news and some potential bad news. The reason why I say it's potential, all this is a potential speculation, as I say, is because this is coming. This news is coming from the manager, Sergey Lipinets, who is the #1 mandatory challenger to the IBF junior welterweight champion, who is Julius Indongo. Now, according to the Lipinets manager Alex Vacefield, who's been much of a thorn, he's saying that the Crawford and Dongo fight will be made. Okay, that's good news. However, the IBF title will not be on the line. Thus, the IBF will not sanction that fight, which also will force Indongo to vacate his title, which also means that the #1 rated contender, Sergey Lipinets, will have to fight the other rated contender for the vacant title. All right. Now, again, this is only speculation. This is only coming from Alex Vacefield. Unless he was informed by the IBF that this was the decision that's been handed down, and the IBF is going to make an announcement this week. If it's true, then shame on the IBF, okay? Now, I'm going to point out a few hypocrisies here with the IBF. I know the IBF are like the most policed, uniform, sanctioned body in the world of boxing. But nonetheless, they are hypocritical, as I say. The reason why is because just recently they issued a ruling that Anthony Joshua does have a right to forego his mandatory shot at the time being, because they were unaware that he had a rematch clause signed with Vladimir Klitschko. Wait a minute. I thought the IBF and all the other mandatories get copies or drafts of the contracts after they are signed, and then once they review the guidelines and the provisions, they approve the sanctions of the fights. So how could they have not known that there was a rematch clause inserted before they sanctioned the fight between for Klitschko when he took on Joshua? That makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, but yet you give Joshua an exemption. But you turn around a couple years back when Tyson Fury became the heavyweight champion of the world by beating Klitschko to capture the IBF title along with the other unified titles, the WBO and the WBA. You immediately stripped him. You didn't give him no exemption whatsoever, yet Vladimir Klitschko had a rematch clause against him, against Fury. So why did you strip Fury immediately when he decided to go ahead and pursue his rematch, even though it didn't come to fruition with Vladimir Klitschko, and yet you're giving an exemption for Joshua? That makes no sense whatsoever. None. Okay? And now some of the idiots who's going to come out and they're going to defend this and say, hey, I applaud the IBF for making this move here, if it's true, to give, to go ahead and strip Indongo, because Lipinets deserves a shot. Really? Then why did you come out and say the same thing for Corbett Pulev? Oh, Joshua has a right. He has to go for the big money fight. He has to give Klitschko his rematch. Well, can you say the same for Indongo? Because that's what he's doing for Crawford. He's trying to pursue a big money fight for Crawford. Oh, but no. But that doesn't suit your narrative, because I see where this is going. I see the reason why you guys are okay with Joshua foregoing his mandatory shot against Kubrat Pulev, but rather take the rematch with Vladimir Klitschko, which could more likely happen because Vladimir Klitschko almost knocked him out. He may have some, momentum going into the fight in the rematch, possibly. So that way he has a possibility to take back his IBF along with the WBA title if it gets made. So this is what this is all about. Opposed to Crawford, who has a chance of maybe becoming the undisputed champion, you don't want to see that. So that's what this is all about. And yes, I'll go there because let's be honest here, boxing is tribal. It is very tribal, but some of these idiots don't want to admit that. Okay, like this clown over in Taiwan who got goddamn what's his name? Vasily Lomachenko's #1 pound for pound. Based on what? Based on less than 10 fights, the dude has one loss on his record, who's refused to avenge that loss. Okay, yes, he's beaten four world champions. I give him credit for that. Definitely give him credit for most of his wins. But to have him #1 over a guy named Terence Crawford, who's a lineal champion, 2 different divisions, who's a current unified champion? Please. All right, who's undefeated, by the way. Oh, yeah, that's right, because he's the 2-division champion in less than 10 pro fights. That's great. But guess what? Why would you say that about Jeff Fennick, okay? You guys don't know who Jeff Fennick is. Jeff Fennick was a guy who beat Carlos Zarate, Hall of Famer, in his 6th, 7th pro fight to become a world champion. I don't see people utter the names of Jeff Fennick. Jeff Fennick became a 3-division champion in less than 28 pro fights. Okay? I'm just saying, man. Come on, y'all. Y'all gotta have... You can't... When it comes to your praises and whatnot to certain fighters, just don't, just be consistent with that, okay? And be consistent with your criticism with other fighters as well, okay? Okay, I'm babbling on a little bit. But my point is that the whole point of this move, if this is true, is that the IBF, along with these so-called boxing fans and experts who may applaud the IBF for, sticking to their rules when it comes to the INDONGO and the Lipinets situation, they just don't want to see Terrence Crawford become the undisputed champion. Let's be real. That's the bottom line. Because if Crawford does become the undisputed champion, then the talk of him becoming number one pound for pound will come into question. That's the deal. Now, again, the pound for pound rankings, that's very subjective. That's fine. People could put, Lomachenko number one, just like the clown in Taiwan. He could do that. But the fact is that if you want to debate on that issue, he doesn't want to do it. All right? I don't understand. But the fact is, let's make a valid argument. The dude, as I made valid arguments that the dude has accomplished that much in less than 10 pro fights. He's still got ways to go. But yet, he'll call it hate. It's an honest critique. Okay. Oh my God, the IBF. Now, like I said, if this is true, I'm going in on you guys, especially Daryl Peoples too. And shout out to Blood and 78. They mentioned this in their collab videos that 78 had an interview with Daryl Peoples a few years back, and he stated, and this is according to the IBF guidelines, that unification bouts always supersedes mandatory fights unless approved by the championship committee. Now, Daryl Peoples himself did not allude to the championship committee. He only alluded to the fact that the unification should always take priority over mandatories. But I don't understand why in this situation that INDONGO doesn't get that exception. I don't understand why. So again, if this is true, if the IBF puts out the statement to verify what Alex Vicksfield has, to validate what Alex Vicksfield is saying here, then they need to come out with a long fucking explanation here, and they deserved to be ridiculed for this goddamn move that they're allegedly are pulling right now. And he explained to us, why is this any different from what the exemption you gave from Anthony Joshua to forgo his mandatory shot against Corporate Pulev? I mean, let me know what your thoughts about this. I'll leave a link to the article below. I'm out. Peace.